As we embark on the dawn of a new day and new year in Arkansas, I am excited about the future potential of our beautiful state and her people. I am excited because I have discovered the skeptics were wrong when they said the people of Arkansas are not educated on the issues in their state and believe the lies of professional politicians who are taxing them into poverty, regulating them out of business, and enslaving them with government entitlements. I know the skeptics are wrong about our people. Our folks are smarter than they think. I know this because I've spent the past 6 months traveling across this state, speaking with, and more importantly, listening to the people from all walks of life. I have addressed record crowds as a speaker at Republican Party Reagan dinners in county after county at the request of Republican Party chairs. I've addressed Tea Party patriots at statewide convention and spoken to Tea Party groups large and small across this state. Yes, I even straddled my Harley and took advantage of the scenic, winding roads to meet with folks in those small-town cafes and rural areas where most politicians ignore. Those places where a man's word still means something, and a handshake seals the deal. What I learned on this listening tour of the state is this. Though our citizens are divided on many levels and our problems immense, the people of this state by the thousands have told me they are aware of the waste, fraud, and abuse in their state government. They are ready to roll up their sleeves and get to work, making Arkansas the best state in America to live and succeed. But before we can seize on the opportunities for the future, we must recognize our failures of the past and present. The pathway to recovery begins right here at our state capitol. Not because our government is the solution to our problems, but because our government is the source of our problems. First, we must identify, expose, and replace politicians who ran as Republicans to get elected, then once in office began to legislate like Democrats to please a progressive governor and his big corporate donors. I called out these misrepresenting representatives and fought them for you last year when I delivered a blistering admonishment in House Judiciary.
Let me tell you something, folks. The governor may have your back here in Little Rock, but he cannot save you from the wrath of an enraged electorate who you will certainly have to answer to. You are a Republican. We have the majority here. We shouldn't be here discussing gun rights issues. This should be a no-brainer. We will not forget this.
Over 1 million people have viewed that video shot by the Arkansas Times. Many Arkansans tell me that was the alarm clock that opened their eyes to the dirty political games being played at the state capitol on the taxpayers' dime. We must replace career politicians with citizen legislators and hold them accountable for their actions. We will accomplish this by transparency in our government. We must demand roll call votes on all issues in House and Senate judiciary. Legislators should not be allowed to hide behind group voice votes where there's no record of how they voted while representing their constituency. Transparency and accountability in our state government is not optional. The next step to recovery is to reduce the size of our state government and bring regulatory relief to our businesses. Republicans are supposed to be the party of limited government, yet our current leadership has been busy over the past 3 years feeding the government beast and expanding it in size with our tax dollars. There are currently 95 state agencies and 49 professional regulatory boards, including a catfish promotion board. I'm not kidding. Big government costs big money. Under Asa Hutchinson's leadership, we have seen record spending, supporting over $300 million in tax increases. The governor will tell you he's cut taxes, but the truth is, while he cut taxes on one side of the pie, he redistributes those taxes and even raises them on the other side of the pie. No matter how you slice it, that pie is getting larger rather than smaller. We must cut waste in state spending. Now, this doesn't mean sacrificing the essential services to the poor, the elderly, the sick, and the disabled, nor does it mean cutting badly needed funds that our counties depend on. There is plenty of waste to cut. The tax burden in this state is overwhelming our people. While Arkansas ranks in income among the poorest in the nation, The tax burden on our people is the highest among competitor states and 17th highest in the nation. Arkansas uses all the major tax instruments available to states, including incomes, sales, and property taxes, while a number of our neighboring states have no state income tax. The corporate tax rate is also the second highest among Arkansas's competitor states. That giant sucking sound you hear is Texas, Tennessee, and Florida sucking away our jobs, our companies, our college graduates, and affluent citizens of our state. No wonder the governor has to go to China and offer millions of dollars, tax breaks, and job training to get foreigners to come open companies here. Imagine what Arkansas business owners could do with that kind of government help. When we reduce the size of our government, it will increase economic freedom. I want to put more money and freedom back in the hands of our people. We can do this by modernizing and simplifying the Arkansas tax code. We must make Arkansas tax laws competitive with other states in order to attract businesses to our state. This will stimulate job creation in Arkansas. And we must ensure fairness to all individuals and entities impacted by the tax laws in the state. The governor's discretionary fund is a perfect place to start. That fund, which has over $20 million at last check, is nothing more than corporate welfare and redistribution of the wealth to the governor's business buddies. Capitalism works best when the government stays out of the game. Healthcare is another problem that is becoming a financial nightmare for this state. A wrong move by our leadership has led to skyrocketing insurance premiums, assuming you can even find insurance, less access to quality healthcare and services. Socialized medicine is never the answer. I mean, do you really want an entity that bought you the post office and $750 hammers to be in charge of your healthcare? Do you know what I think is the best thing professional politicians can do to improve healthcare? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We need to get the government out of our healthcare and let the free market do what it does best. The people of Arkansas have also told me that they want their state to be safe again. Crime is an increasing problem across the state. Little Rock was #1 per capita for crime in the nation. That is unacceptable. I am pro-law enforcement, and I will make sure that police in this state have the tools they need to be tough on crime, to put the criminals behind bars, and stop that revolving door of our correction systems, which just last week released a 2-time murderer from jail. On that note, an armed society is a polite society. Arkansas is a constitutional carry state per Article 2 of the Arkansas State Constitution. Now, the current governor says that's not inconsistent with a licensing program selling permission slips to the citizens to carry, and that state law is subject to the interpretation of every prosecuting attorney in every county in this state. That, folks, is the most egregious statement made by an elected Arkansas politician this year. He is wrong. I will make it right. That is a promise. Education also made the list of top concerns of people in this state. Arkansas has the lowest education scores in America. I come from a long history of public school educators in my family. I know what teachers are up against in our schools. Educators in this state tell me that they want Little Rock politicians out of their schools, and parents want the right to choose where their kids go to school. Competition among schools equals better education for our students. In addition, companies say they need a skilled labor force, and parents tell me they want vocational training programs back in their schools for students who want that option. And finally, I believe it is important for the governor of this state to stay connected with the people. There are counties in this state where the people tell me they haven't seen or heard from the governor since he ran for office the first time. I believe town hall style meetings around the state with your governor is a great way to stay on top of the issues that matter most to the people. In closing, people of this state by the thousands have asked me to be their voice, to fight for them and the future of the state. I have heard you. I care about you. And it would be my greatest privilege and highest honor to serve you. I too dream of freedom from overregulation and the burden of excessive taxation. I too dream of a state where government, education, industry, organizations, and the people work together as a team, determined to compete with every other state team that is racing to the top of the national ranks in every area, rather than racing to the bottom as we are today. I am committed to fight for you, but I can only do so much from the position of citizen activist. If you really want me to be your voice, I need a better position to fight from. Strategically speaking, that would be the governor's seat. I'm Jan Morgan, a born-again Christian. Genetically conservative. Ask my mom, she'll tell me I was genetically conservative. I was a conservative in the womb. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, a small business owner, a certified firearms instructor, and yes, like our Vice President of the United States, I ride my own Harley. And on this dawning of a new day, of this new year, I am officially announcing my candidacy as a Republican for governor of the great state of Arkansas.